It's just after 8 on a cold Sunday night in Virginia. A man walks alone into a quiet park, a bag in his hand. He's done this dozens of times before. He believes he's 5 weeks from retirement, clean, undetected, done. He doesn't know that 10 armed agents have been watching him for months, and he doesn't know that the man he trusted most in the world, his own handler, was never who he thought. This is the story of the most damaging spy in FBI history, and for over 20 years, nobody saw it coming. Every file tells a story. The truth is waiting to be found. Case File 001. An FBI agent spent 2 decades spying on the country he swore to protect, and almost got away with it. Robert Philip Hanssen joined the FBI in January of 1976. He wasn't a natural fit for fieldwork. Quiet, awkward, deeply religious, more comfortable with paperwork and encryption than with people. But he was smart, genuinely brilliant with information systems at a time when the Bureau barely understood them. That intelligence put him exactly where he didn't belong, inside the FBI's counterintelligence division, with access to some of the country's most closely guarded secrets, including the identities of double agents working for the United States inside the Soviet Union. He had the access. He had the trust. And less than 3 years into his career, he decided to use both.
In November 1979, Hanssen made first contact with Soviet military intelligence, the GRU. No recruitment, no blackmail, no seduction. He volunteered. Investigators would later conclude his motives weren't purely ideological. It was a mix of things. Money, yes, but also a need to feel smarter than the system he worked inside. A quiet contempt for an FBI he felt underestimated him. And running underneath all of it, the thrill of knowing something no one else knew. That first stretch of spying lasted less than 2 years. In the spring of 1981, his wife found him in their basement, reviewing a classified communication he had no reason to have at home. He told her he'd made a terrible mistake, a one-time lapse. She believed him. He didn't stop. He simply got quieter about it. By 1985, Hanssen was back, this time working directly with the KGB, and this time far more carefully. He never met his handlers face to face. He never learned their real names. Everything moved through dead drops, a signal chalked on a mailbox post, a package hidden beneath a footbridge, a return payment left days later at a different site. Over the next several years, he handed over thousands of pages of classified material, details on U.S. nuclear war strategy, weapons programs, and the identities of intelligence assets, several of whom faced fatal consequences as a result. In exchange, the KGB paid him roughly $500,000, along with diamonds. He kept almost none of it visible. No flashy purchases, no lifestyle upgrade. He was too careful for that. It's part of why for so long no one suspected him at all. He stopped again in 1991 as the Soviet Union collapsed. But by 1999, he was back for a third and final round, this time with Russia's SVR. The FBI had known for years that something was deeply wrong, that someone inside American intelligence was still feeding Moscow information, even after the arrest of CIA officer Aldrich Ames in 1994. For a long time, they looked in the wrong place entirely, focusing on a CIA officer who turned out to be innocent. The break came from an unlikely source, a purchased intelligence file reportedly containing an actual recording and enough detail to trace the leak back, not to Langley, but to the FBI itself. Investigators quietly began building a case against one of their own. On February 18th, 2001, Hanssen made what he didn't know would be his final drop, a bag of classified documents hidden beneath a footbridge in Foxstone Park, Virginia. As he turned to walk away, FBI agents closed in and placed him under arrest. He pled guilty that July to 15 counts of espionage, cooperating with investigators in exchange for avoiding the death penalty. In May 2002, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. He would spend the rest of his life in solitary confinement at a federal supermax facility, dying in 2023 at the age of 79. For over 20 years, one of the FBI's own had been quietly handing its deepest secrets to the country it was built to defend against. And the Bureau's failure wasn't a lack of a brilliant enemy. It was that nobody was watching the one place they trusted most, inside their own walls.
Robert Hanssen died behind bars, having spent over 2 decades betraying the badge he swore to uphold. A sentence some call justice, and others call far too late for the lives already lost. So I'll leave you with this. If the people trained to catch spies couldn't see one working beside them for 22 years, how sure are you of who's really in the room with you? Case closed, but the file stays open. Next time, another folder, another name no one was supposed to find.